Yes, my name is Mark Lepettis, and I'm the semiconductor editor of VID00004. And we're here in San Francisco in the first day of Semicon West. And we're here after the analyst meeting of Novellus Systems, Inc. And to my left here is Rick Hill. He's the chairman and chief executive of Novellus. And we're talking after the analyst meeting in regards to Novellus's numbers that came out and a number of product introductions. And Rick, today I was at a semi event where they had a very quite tough forecast, very down 20% for semiconductor equipment this year. And two things. Do you agree with that? And during your analyst meeting, you used the D word, downturn. Are we in a downturn? And two, what are we seeing out there in the marketplace?
Well, I think you could look at any market today and everybody be talking about the D term. I mean, in our press conference, in our financial conference that we just had, you have all of the analysts from all of the banks, and they might comment that, not only is it a downturn, it might even be a depression from their point of view. But the reality is, in the electronics business, the long-term potential of it is the same. It's not going away. Yeah, it may be a little slow, it may be a little uncertain, the financial turmoil may be affecting it, but the reality is it's coming back. And any company competing in this business just has to make sure that they're prepared when it does come back.
Right. One of the key interesting drivers, especially for Novellus, I think it's this shift from aluminum to copper in the memory business. How fast of a migration are we seeing that right now?
Well, I think the transition from aluminum to copper has already commenced in the NAND flash side of the business. And I think over the next 12 months, you'll see 100% of the output go from aluminum to copper in NAND flash technology. I think the DRAM switch is starting to go on right now, and that's going to transition over the next 18 months.
Right. Also, I couldn't help but notice in your analyst meeting that Novellus has kind of a very staunch stance about 450 millimeters. In other words, you mentioned you have buttons that say just no to 450 millimeter. Can you elaborate on your position on 450 millimeter?
Well, I've been accused of having a button that says no on 450 millimeter, but the reality is what I have no on is things that aren't economically viable for the suppliers and for the customer. And I think that anything that would threaten the value chain such that semiconductors would stop their productivity gains, stop their ability to continue with Moore's Law, might not be good for the industry. And I think one of the things we see that transition to 450 millimeters is extremely expensive. And there are only a couple, maybe three at the most, who can afford to make that transition. And if only 3 semiconductor companies made the transition to 450 millimeter, it wouldn't be a very viable technology.
Right. Rick, thank you very much for your